Imagine a normal day suddenly turning into the beginning of the end. A strange virus starts spreading across the world. At first, people don't take it seriously, but with each passing day, things get worse. Millions begin to die. Hospitals are overwhelmed. Scientists and doctors try everything, but no one can find a cure. The world slowly starts falling apart. So how did all of this begin? And is there still hope for the few people left alive? Let's go back to where it all started. The story begins in 2026 at a popular ski resort in Sweden. It's a beautiful place, full of tourists enjoying their holidays. People are laughing, taking pictures, and riding cable cars high above the snowy mountains. Everything seems perfect, but something feels off. The cable car operator, a man named Lucas, is acting very strange. Without warning, he suddenly starts running all the cable cars at full speed, in reverse. Within seconds, panic spreads everywhere. People lose balance, fall from the cabins, and start screaming. It turns into complete chaos. By the time police and ambulances arrive, the damage is already done. More than 12 people are dead, and around 100 are badly injured. Videos of the accident spread quickly across social media, shocking everyone. At the scene, a doctor named Erin is helping the injured. While she is working, the police call her to check on Lucas, the man responsible for the disaster. When she sees him, something feels very wrong. An officer tries to question Lucas, but he doesn't respond properly. He looks confused, almost like he's not in control of himself. Dr. Erin decides to run a blood test, thinking maybe he took some kind of drug, but the results are shocking. There are no drugs in his body. In fact, Lucas has never used any substances in his life. Still, something is clearly not normal. Erin notices that Lucas's eyes are red, and he looks extremely tired, like he hasn't slept in days. Lucas himself says he hasn't been able to sleep, and he doesn't understand what's happening to him. He looks scared. Dr. Erin quickly tells the police that Lucas needs to be taken to the hospital immediately. His condition is serious, but on the way to the hospital, things take a terrifying turn. Lucas suddenly starts shouting that he can't breathe. The officer stops the vehicle to check on him, but before anyone can react, Lucas jumps out and runs straight into a nearby forest. The police try to catch him, but he disappears. At that moment, everyone thinks it's just a case of mental breakdown. No one realizes that this is only the beginning of something much bigger, something far more dangerous. The scene then shifts to a grand party organized by Sweden's biggest pharmaceutical company. The atmosphere is completely different. Music, lights, laughter. The company is celebrating a huge deal with the government. Many important officials from the Ministry of Health are also present. The CEO of the company, Eva, is enjoying the celebration when suddenly an employee named Marty rushes toward her. He looks terrified. Marty tells her something shocking. At their research facility, a highly dangerous chemical has been leaking for the past 10 days. He has just discovered it, and the situation is serious. They need to inform the government immediately and take action before it's too late. But Ava makes a different choice. Since all the important officials are at the party, she decides to hide the truth. She takes the file from Marty and quietly asks security to remove him from the event. She doesn't want the deal to be affected. She chooses silence over safety. Meanwhile, outside the party, strange things are already starting to happen. At a local gym, people are behaving oddly. Some are becoming aggressive, almost like they've lost control of themselves. Their anger feels unnatural. During this, a woman suddenly collapses. When people try to help her, she reveals something disturbing. She hasn't slept for days. She feels constant anger and restlessness. She has been pushing herself to exercise nonstop, just to feel tired enough to sleep. Now things start getting even more serious. The head of the health ministry, Chris, begins to notice something unusual. Reports are suddenly coming in from all over the country. Hospitals are filling up fast. At first, it doesn't seem too strange, but when he looks closely, a pattern appears. Almost every patient is showing the same symptoms. First, they stop sleeping. Then they become extremely aggressive. Some even start hurting themselves, and others. Still, Chris doesn't panic right away. He thinks it might just be a new type of flu, something temporary, something manageable, but he is wrong. Meanwhile, Dr. Aaron is trying to take a break from everything. She is out on a date with her girlfriend, Jane. For a moment, things feel normal again, until her phone rings. It's Lucas, the same cable car operator who ran into the forest. His voice is weak, scared, desperate. He gives Irene his address and begs her to come quickly. He says he is dying. Without wasting a second, Iran leaves her date and rushes to his house. When she arrives, something feels off. The door is already open. She slowly steps inside, calling out his name, but there is no response. The house is a complete mess, like someone lost control. She searches every room. Then finally, she reaches the bathroom and freezes. Lucas is already dead. His eyes are fully red, that same unnatural red. In that moment, everything starts to make sense. Whatever was affecting him earlier wasn't just stress or madness. it was something else, something deadly, something that slowly destroyed his mind and then his body. At the same time, far away, Eva, the CEO of the pharmaceutical company, is on a flight. She finally decides to read the file Marty gave her, and what she finds terrifies her. The chemical leaking from their lab for the past 10 days is extremely dangerous. It directly attacks the human brain and nervous system. Suddenly, everything connects. That chemical must have mixed into river water, and from there, into the public water supply. For the past 10 days, people across Sweden have been slowly consuming it without knowing. That's why people can't sleep. That's why they're becoming aggressive. That's why everything is collapsing. Eva realizes the truth, but it's already too late. She tries to call her team, but there is no signal on the flight. And then, something goes horribly wrong. The plane begins to shake. Inside the cockpit, the captain has already been infected. After days without sleep, his body starts giving up. He begins to lose consciousness. The co-pilot tries to wake him, but suddenly collapses onto the controls. Inside that plane is Eva, the only person who fully understands what's happening, the one person who could have warned everyone. But now, she is trapped. Within moments, the plane crashes. Soon the news spreads everywhere. But this isn't just one accident. In the past 2 days, many similar incidents have happened. Car crashes, violent outbursts, sudden deaths. Now people are starting to realize this is not normal. Across the country, people haven't slept for days. Their eyes are turning red. Their behavior is changing, and it's getting worse, fast. Hospitals are now completely full. No space, no control. An emergency meeting is called with the country's top leaders. Doctors present a shocking report. In just 7 days, more than 400 confirmed cases of a strange new infection have appeared. The main symptom? Red eyes. At first, patients sleep less. Then within 3 days, they completely lose the ability to sleep. But the worst part is this: the brain doesn't stop. It keeps forcing the body to stay active. No rest, no shutdown. After days of non-stop activity, the body suddenly collapses and the person dies. As the ministers listen, something even more terrifying hits them. They are feeling the same symptoms. That means they are infected too. Outside, panic spreads like wildfire. In just 3 days, more than 10,000 people have already died. Rumors begin spreading online. Some people believe the government caused this to reduce pollution, to control population. Fear turns into anger, and the chaos keeps growing. Even the ministers now understand this is not a normal disease. This is something new, something far more dangerous than anything before. But the biggest question remains: how did it spread, and how can it be stopped? No one has the answer. For now, the meeting ends with one temporary decision. Until a cure is found, the government will try to keep people calm. Now the situation moves completely out of control. The government makes a nationwide announcement. Tonight, the Prime Minister of Sweden will speak to the country and pay tribute to all the people who have died. People wait, hoping for answers. But on the ground, things are getting worse every minute. Jens, Dr. Aaron's girlfriend, is also infected now. For days, she hasn't slept. Her body is weak, but her mind refuses to stop. The pressure keeps building inside her. At work, when her boss tries to talk to her, something suddenly snaps. In a burst of uncontrollable rage, Jens grabs a pen and accidentally stabs him in the neck. Everything freezes for a second, then chaos. Both of them are rushed to the hospital. The boss survives, but Jens's condition becomes critical. When Dr. Aaron sees her, she is shaken. This is no longer just a medical case. This is personal, and still, there is no cure. Doctors have tried everything: strong medicines, anesthesia, heavy sedatives. Nothing works. The infected simply cannot sleep. They don't even lose consciousness. It's like their nervous system has locked their brain in a constant on state. No pause, no rest, only endless activity. As evening falls, the whole country turns toward one moment: the Prime Minister's speech. He appears on stage, calm but clearly tired. He begins by honoring the dead. Then comes the question everyone is waiting for. What is the government doing? The Prime Minister assures the public that they are aware of the situation. He says this unknown virus has likely spread to almost everyone already. He asks people to stay calm, not to panic, not to create more problems. He promises that the government is doing everything possible, but something feels wrong. His eyes, they are red. He is infected too. And then, in the middle of his speech, he collapses, right there on stage. Panic spreads instantly. People watching at home feel a wave of fear. If the Prime Minister himself cannot survive, then who can save them? Soon after being taken to the hospital, he dies. The report confirms it. Same virus, same cause, days without sleep, brain pushed beyond its limit, body shutting down. Outside, people grow desperate. Some rush to gyms, pushing themselves harder than ever before. They believe that if they exhaust their bodies enough, maybe they can finally sleep. But it doesn't work. No matter how tired they are, the brain keeps forcing them to stay awake, move, act, think, never stop. Meanwhile, rumors begin spreading like wildfire. Many people start believing that the government caused this on purpose, to control population, to reduce pressure on the planet. Fear turns into anger, and anger turns into violence. Some people even start attacking government officials, thinking it might somehow stop all this. At the same time, inside the pharmaceutical company, the truth finally begins to come out. Another employee discovers that several dangerous chemicals have been leaking for weeks. Not days, weeks. She immediately calls Marty, the head of research. Marty already knows. He had tried to warn Eva before. Now, with nothing left to hide, he tells the truth. It was their mistake. Because of them, thousands are dying every day, and it will only get worse. He reveals something even more terrifying. At first, the virus spread through water, but now it has evolved. It is spreading through the air. That means no one is safe anymore, not anywhere. Marty himself is infected, and after confessing everything, he jumps off a bridge, ending his life. The employee, completely shaken, gathers all the evidence and runs to the government. On the other side, Chris, the head of the health ministry, is now the new prime minister after the previous one's death. But the moment he steps into power, he receives a call. The truth is revealed. This entire disaster was caused by that same pharmaceutical company. And that very morning, an employee came forward with proof, solid evidence. Chris is frozen, because this doesn't just expose the company, it exposes him. He was the one who approved the deal. He was the one who stopped inspections for months to push it through. And now, that decision may have caused this entire catastrophe, which means soon the whole world will be looking at him. Now the situation reaches its breaking point. Hospitals are completely out of control. Doctors are trying everything they can, but nothing is working. No medicine has any effect on this virus. Patients are losing control of themselves. Some start hurting their own bodies, some become violent, and many simply collapse and die. Every single day, thousands are dying. Still, no cure, no solution. After speaking with top medical experts, Chris learned something truly terrifying. Even if scientists start working right now, it will take a long time to create a cure. And at the speed this virus is spreading, there may be no one left alive by the time it's ready. Doctors also confirm another horrifying detail. Once a person is infected, they will die within just 7 days. 7 days, that's all anyone has left. Then Chris notices something that chills him even more. For the past few days, he hasn't been sleeping properly either, which means he is infected too. At the same time, the entire country is looking at him for answers. He is now the prime minister. With no time to waste, Chris calls for an emergency cabinet meeting. And this time, he tells them everything, the truth. He reveals that the virus started because of a chemical leak from the same pharmaceutical company he supported when he was health minister. He admits that he delayed inspections. He shares the doctor's report that every infected person will die within 7 days. The room falls silent. Chris says one more thing. The people deserve to know the truth, even if they hate him, even if they blame him. He is ready to step down as prime minister. But Kara, his girlfriend and the security minister, immediately disagrees. She warns him, if this truth comes out, the country will fall into complete chaos. People already suspect the government. If they learn that death is certain within 7 days, and that Chris himself is responsible, the entire system could collapse. Other ministers support Kara. They advise Chris to hide the truth for now, but Chris has already decided. He says he has made one huge mistake, and he will not make another by lying. Ignoring everyone, he goes ahead and calls for a press conference, and in front of the whole nation, he reveals everything. How the virus started, how the company caused it, how he is responsible. He even tells people the most terrifying part, that infected individuals will die within 7 days. At the end, Chris apologizes, he takes full responsibility, and then he resigns. He says he is ready to face punishment once the situation is under control. While the whole country watches this shocking confession, the cabinet rushes into another meeting. They now need a new prime minister. But no one wants the position. Everyone knows whoever takes power now will face anger, chaos, and possibly death. One by one, every minister refuses. Finally, Kara steps forward. She agrees to become prime minister, but with strict conditions. She will not leave her position as security minister, and she wants full control. Her first decision, immediate action. She says riots are coming. People will flood the streets. So the only way to control the situation is force. The army will be deployed. A nationwide lockdown will be enforced. The cabinet agrees. The very next day, Kara becomes prime minister. Soldiers fill the streets. A strict order is announced. Everyone must stay inside their homes. Anyone who steps outside can be shot on sight. Crowds are forcefully broken. People are pushed back into their homes, but fear has already turned into desperation. When people know they only have 7 days to live, they stop caring about rules. Protests begin everywhere. Outside government buildings, on the streets. Some people even carry explosives. They want revenge. They want answers. They want someone to blame. The country falls into total chaos. The government responds with force, but the people refuse to back down. Meanwhile, Chris, who has stepped down, is rushing toward a prison, not as a leader, but as a father. He wants to save his only son, Hugo. He knows riots are happening everywhere, even inside prisons. And if something happens to Hugo, he knows he will never forgive himself. On the way, memories start coming back. His past, his mistakes, his relationship with Hugo was never good. After Hugo's mother died, Chris started a relationship with Kara, something Hugo could never accept. Slowly, Hugo lost his way. He got involved in drugs. Then one day, Chris found illegal drugs hidden in their house. At the same time, elections were near, and Chris made a cold decision. He reported his own son to the police. Hugo was arrested, but to the public, Chris became a symbol of justice, a leader who didn't spare even his own family. Because of that, he won the election easily, but that victory came at a cost, his son. And now, as the world collapses around him, Chris is racing against time, trying to save the same son he once sacrificed. Now the story moves a few days back, inside the prison. The prison was already a dangerous place. Violent criminals, constant fights, tension in the air. Even small arguments could turn deadly. Hugo was terrified. He knew he didn't belong there. Many times he had called his father, Chris, begging him to get him out, but Chris never believed him. He thought Hugo was just trying to escape punishment. But everything changed. The moment Chris revealed the truth to the world. Now every prisoner knew this disaster, this virus, was connected to Chris, and Hugo was his son. In their eyes, Hugo became the reason their families outside were dying. They wanted revenge. They wanted blood. The next morning, chaos explodes inside the prison. Prisoners attack the guards. Some guards are killed on the spot. Cells are broken open. People start escaping. It turns into complete madness. But Hugo doesn't run. He hides, too scared to move, because he knows if anyone sees him, he won't survive even a second. At the same time, Chris is racing toward the prison, not as a leader anymore, but as a father trying to fix his biggest mistake. He is terrified. What if he is too late? What if something has already happened to Hugo? And the worst part, it was him who sent his own son there. When Chris reaches the city outskirts, he hits another obstacle. Military barricades. The entire area is sealed. He tells the soldiers who he is, the former prime minister. But it doesn't matter. No one respects him anymore. No one trusts him. To them, he is the reason for everything. They refuse to let him pass. But Chris doesn't stop. He makes a decision and crashes straight through the barricades. Gunshots follow. Soldiers fire at his car. But somehow, he escapes. Meanwhile, at the hospital, things are even worse. Doctors are exhausted. Patients are everywhere. Still no cure. Dr. Aaron is breaking inside. Because now, it's not just patients. It's Jane, her girlfriend. Jane is dying. Aaron argues with another doctor, demanding treatment, but the answer is cold. There's nothing left to try. Thousands of patients are arriving every hour. No medicine is working. And Jane has only 3 days left. With no hope in the hospital, Aaron takes Jane home. She decides, if nothing can save her, at least she won't die alone. At home, Aaron takes care of her. She stays by her side. She even gives her ice-cold baths, something Jane always loved. By now, Aaron herself is infected too, but she doesn't care. She accepts it. They will face the end, together. But then, something unexpected happens. Jane's condition starts improving, slowly. Her breathing becomes stable. The redness in her eyes begins to fade. Aaron is shocked. This shouldn't be possible. She starts thinking, what changed? Then she realizes, for the past 2 days, Jane has been exposed to extremely cold water. Aaron immediately starts researching, and what she finds is incredible. Very low temperatures can slow down the human nervous system, the same system that the virus is forcing into constant activity. To confirm this, Aaron takes a huge risk. She goes to a nearby snow lake and steps into freezing water. She stays there for hours. Her body temperature drops dangerously low, but something else happens. Her mind becomes calm. The constant pressure, the hyperactivity, it starts fading. For the first time, the virus weakens. Aaron realizes, this is it. This is the weakness. The virus cannot function properly in extreme cold. Without wasting time, she rushes back to the hospital. She shares everything. Her idea, low-temperature therapy, but the hospital is already collapsing. Dead bodies everywhere. Doctors dying. No one listens. No one has the time. No one has the hope. So Aaron takes another step. She returns home and sees news about the employee who exposed the pharmaceutical company, the one who knows the truth. Aaron decides to meet her. She explains everything. The cold therapy, the changes in Jane, the experiment she did on herself. The employee listens carefully and agrees. This could actually work. But there is a problem, a big one. If the body stays too cold for too long, the person could die from hypothermia before the virus is even stopped. It's risky, very risky, but it's still hope. Together they go to Kara, the new prime minister. Kara listens, and she understands one thing. There are no other options left. Immediately, she takes action. She forms a special team of the best doctors in the country and approves Aaron's treatment, an experimental solution, a dangerous one. But right now, it's the only chance humanity has left. Now everything reaches its final and most intense phase. Outside, huge crowds gather in front of government buildings. People are shouting, crying, demanding answers. The guards can no longer control them. In the middle of this chaos, a man quietly enters the crowd. He is carrying a bomb. His plan is simple: destroy everything. At that very moment, Prime Minister Kara steps outside. She faces the crowd. She tries to calm them down. She tells them that there is still hope. A possible solution has been found. If this new experiment works, everything can be saved. She asks everyone to stay calm, to trust the government one last time. But then, an explosion. The bomb goes off. People scream. Smoke fills the air. Panic spreads instantly. Luckily, Kara survives without serious injuries. Within seconds, security forces rush in. Kara and all top ministers are quickly taken into a secret underground bunker. From now on, they will operate from there. No direct contact with the public. Inside the bunker, the situation becomes clear. Every city is collapsing. Millions are dying every day. People are no longer afraid of soldiers. Even soldiers themselves are getting infected. Some are leaving their posts. According to reports, the army can only hold control for 2 more days. After that, everything falls apart. Now Kara has only one hope left: Dr. Aaron's experiment. If it fails, there will be no government, no law, no order. And even if a cure is found later, there will be no system left to deliver it. Meanwhile, Dr. Aaron and her team begin their final work. They improve the low-temperature therapy. Special suits are designed to protect the body from extreme cold. Medicines are prepared to stabilize brain activity. Soon, test subjects are selected, including Aaron herself and Jane. Even though Aaron is infected, she chooses to take the risk. Together, their goal: to find out how long the human body can survive in extreme cold while stopping the virus. Before the experiment begins, everyone is warned. Some of them may die. Hearing this, a few people step back. Fear takes over, but Aaron speaks. She tells them the truth. If they don't try this, they will die anyway. And she is standing there, ready to take the same risk. That gives them courage. Finally, the experiment begins. Doctors slowly lower their body temperatures. One by one, they are placed into freezing conditions. They cannot sleep. They cannot lose consciousness. They feel everything: the cold, the pain, but they endure it because this is the last hope. At the same time, after a long 2-day journey, Chris finally reaches the prison. But what he sees breaks him. Dead bodies everywhere. It's clear that violence has already taken over. Guards, prisoners, all gone. Still, he goes inside, searching for Hugo. The prison is huge, dark, silent. For a long time, he finds nothing. Then, he hears something. Vehicles. Soldiers are coming. They tracked him. Meanwhile, Hugo is still hiding inside his cell, terrified. He thinks someone has come to kill him. He picks up a knife. As footsteps get closer, he attacks. He stabs Chris right in the stomach. Everything stops. Hugo looks up and realizes it's his father. Shock, guilt, pain, but there's no time. Even after being stabbed, Chris tells him they have to leave now. Somehow they escape the soldiers. They reach the car, and finally, they get out. Outside, Chris reveals his plan. A helicopter is waiting. It will take Hugo to a private island, safe, far from the virus. Hugo begs him to come along, but Chris refuses. He knows the truth. He is already infected, and now badly injured. He won't survive. He doesn't want to risk his son's life. In one final moment, he hugs Hugo tightly for the last time and sends him away. As the helicopter lifts, Hugo is saved. By the time soldiers reach, Chris is alone, and there, he dies. Meanwhile, back at the hospital, The experiment reaches its final stage. Time is up. Doctors begin pulling the patients out, one by one. Then, a tragedy. Jane doesn't survive. Silence fills the room. For a moment, it feels like everything has failed. But then, Erin opens her eyes. She breathes, calm, stable. Something has changed. She realizes she was able to sleep, even for a short time. And now, her mind feels normal again. The virus has weakened. It worked. But when she looks around, many beds are empty. She runs to Jane. But it's too late. The doctors explain the result. The therapy works. But only in the early stage. Within the first 3 days, like Erin. In those cases, the virus can be stopped. But in the final stage, it's too late. Still, this changes everything. Now, with government support, this treatment can be spread. New infections can be controlled. Early patients can be saved. Humanity still has a chance. Many lives are already lost, but the future is not completely gone. And with that, the story comes to an end. A story of mistakes, loss, sacrifice, and one small hope that even at the edge of collapse, humanity can still find a way back. So, what did you think of this story?